so you could go and get a good job. Thank you for the recording. So that you can go to school, get the good grades, and get a good job. Now, I didn't necessarily do it quite like that, but that's what I was told to do. And so I found myself in this really sticky situation where I was always on the roller coaster ride, up, down, up, down. I walked away from corporate America in 2014, right? Making multiple six figures. Prior to that, I wasn't making multiple six figures. So that wasn't the norm for me. I've been plenty of years when I was just working minimum wage, or plenty of times in my life when I was living from paycheck to paycheck. There were plenty of times in my life when I was living from paycheck to Monday. So by the time I started making six figures and multiple six figures, I had developed these horrible habits to where I was still living like I was living from paycheck to paycheck, because the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if I didn't know how to manage a little bit of money, I certainly didn't know how to manage a lot of money. And I don't know if you all can relate to that. So when this was brought to me 4.5 years ago, it really ended up being the missing piece to the puzzle that I didn't even realize was missing, because I didn't know what I didn't know. Now I'm 58 years old, and I am not ashamed to tell you that I came here and I ended up learning a whole financial education. It just caused me to just unpeel some layers, unpack some suitcases, whatever you want to call it, and really get my financial life in order. And so what I'm going to talk to you about is I Am Mastery Academy. Now, this academy has been around for 8.5 years. It started out with just a handful of people. I'm so proud to be a part of this academy, because Christopher Terry, when he got this started, he and his wife, Isis Terry, 8.5 years ago, they just started with 200 students. And they didn't get this academy started because they wanted to create wealth for themselves. They were already independently wealthy. What they wanted to do was to bring Wall Street to Main Street and show everyday people how they can create an income for themselves, a lifestyle for themselves, by learning a skill set. Because think about this, when I show you this cash flow quadrant up here popped up on the screen, you've probably seen this before if you've read anything by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now check this out, because this really, really tripped me out. I've been in all quadrants here, okay? But it took me some time to learn and understand how to get into that red quadrant or burgundy quadrant, whatever color you want to call it. So look on this quadrant really carefully. You see where it says global population, 95% of the wealth, you guys, 95% of the population only has 5% of the wealth. That's your employees, right? That's your self-employed people. I've ran my own interior design business on my own. I've been a school teacher. I co-founded a school. I had my license in cosmetology. At 58 years old, I've done a thing or two. Let's just say that, okay? No judgment zone, right? But the thing is, I've been all up and through, as they say, when it came to that 95% of the population. And when I was working that job, making incredible money, multiple six figures, but you know what I was giving up? My time. I was working 7 days a week, 15 hours a day, no days off, because if I didn't show up for work, I didn't get paid. Even when I had my own interior design business completely and nothing else, same thing. If I didn't show up in somebody's home or office, guess what? Your girl didn't get paid. But what was I giving up the most of? My most precious commodity, your most precious commodity, time. So that's why 95% of the population only has 5% of the wealth. But look at that other half. That's 95% of the wealth is owned by 5% of the population. That's your entrepreneurs, your investors. See, they're not any smarter than anyone else. They just understand the difference between a poverty or broke mindset as well versus a wealth or abundant mindset. See, I had to unlearn some things. I told you how I was brought up, definitely not with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was brought up hearing all kinds of things when it came to money, okay? All the wrong things, let me just say that. Money can't buy you love. Money can't buy you happiness. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Money doesn't grow on trees, all kinds of things like that, right? Is what I kept hearing over and over. But we never had the types of conversations that literally could teach us how to create wealth. So I made all kinds of mistakes trying to figure it out on my own, trying to talk to my circle. And you know what the problem was with talking to my circle at that time? They say your 5 closest people, your net worth is about the same. I want you to think about that for a second. The 5 people that you hang out with the most, your net worth is about the same, within give or take about $1,000 of each other. You like the same things. You like the same types of movies. You like the same types of restaurants. You like the same types of sports teams and things like this. So when your conversation changes, your compensation changes. Okay. So here, when I got introduced to this completely blew me away, because for starters, we're going to introduce you to the largest financial markets in the world. See, when I grew up and as I was growing up, I always thought of Wall Street as being, hey, if you want to make some money, it's all about the stock market, right? We definitely like the stock market here. But did you realize that there's another market that is the largest, the fastest, most profitable money market in the entire world? And we've already been involved in it. As long as you've had a bank account, you're in it. Anytime you've exchanged money, if you've gone on a vacation or you left to go from one country to the next, and if you had to exchange your dollars, that country's dollars, for another country's dollars, you were participating in it. See, this is the Forex market, also known as the foreign exchange currency market. Again, I'm going to repeat that again because I had to hear it a second time. It's the largest, it's the fastest, it's the most liquid growing market in the entire world. Now, when I say something like that, and it's growing over $6 trillion a day, you better believe you got to have the right education. See, this isn't something that you can go out there and pull on YouTube and try to pull this and pull that and try to piece it together. No, this isn't something that you can go ask Uncle Charlie or Aunt Mabel Sue. I don't even know where that name came from, around the corner. Okay, I'm just saying, you might have an Aunt Mabel Sue, right? You've got to have your education in one place, giving you step by step on exactly what to do, real strategies with real people, and at the same time breaking this thing down in layman's terms. Now, I've said probably 3 or 4 times that I am 58 years old. Y'all know I did not grow up in the computer age. I am definitely what they call a baby boomer. So you can only imagine how excited I was when I logged into my academy, when I made the decision that I wanted to get off that roller coaster ride and I wanted to learn a real skill set that once I learned it, nobody could take it away from me. It didn't matter what was going on in my personal life, what was going on in my financial life. If I learned this skill set, it was mine forever. Okay. And so when I logged into this academy and saw that the first videos just broke it down in layman's terms, the first video says, what is digital currency? What is the foreign exchange currency? I needed to be taught to like I was 4 years old, y'all. And so in our DCX Academy, also known as digital currency, now let me say this. If you have never heard the word cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, let's get you out from up underneath that rock that you've been living under. Because I was there too a few years ago, no shade, right? But here's what I know for sure. Digital currency is absolutely changing the way that we do everything. And if you don't have the proper education, you will get left behind. You will be subject to what somebody else says you should or should not do with your money. And in today's economy, if you don't have the right education, you're just leaving yourself out there to dry. But more importantly than that, you're leaving your family out there to dry. So in our Digital Currency Academy, we teach you more than just cryptos. Crypto is just the tip of the iceberg. We teach you things about the blockchain, because without the blockchain, there is no crypto. We teach you about the metaverse. We teach you about NFTs. You've probably heard these things before. You're probably hearing that Snoop Dogg has bought Death Row Records and he's turning into the first NFT recording, what do you call it? Recording organization. I can't even think of the word right now, but it doesn't mean a doggone thing to you if you don't know how you can capitalize off that as well. So in this Digital Currency Academy, you're going to learn how to trade currencies as they move up and down in the market, whether they go up into a buy or go go down into a sell. You're also going to learn how to hold them. You're going to learn how to protect them. You're going to learn how to bank off of them. You're going to learn everything that you didn't even know you needed to know about digital currency. Okay. And then our Forex Academy. This was my first love. Everybody's had a first love, right? You never forget your first love, man. You never forget your first love. I'm just saying, right? So Forex was my first love. Claude, don't mess with me right now, right? So Forex was my first love. This is what I was introduced to, and I've never gone away from it. I love it because in the foreign exchange currency market, again, when you learn the skill set, you know when to go into the market and when not to go into the market. Is trading risky? Absolutely. But so is having a job in this day and time. Now, I'm not here to throw shade on jobs. We know what kind of economy we have. If you have a job, you're blessed to have it. Keep it, right? But at the same same time, you need to get you another way to be able to learn a skill set so that you can start earning off of it. And in our foreign exchange currency market, you're going to learn everything that you could possibly know about it. And this is why, guys, not only do we have a video library series that's set up to where you can go in, you can watch those videos when it's convenient for you. But to me, I think we have the secret sauce. And this is where we have over 200 educators that are not just talking to talk, y'all. They've been fully vetted by the Academy. So they're walking the walk. This right here changed the game for me, because just like you, I'm extremely busy. And when I got started 4.5 years ago, I had a bunch of things going on, homeschooling multiple grandkids at that time. I'm still homeschooling one, running my interior design business at the same time. And I made the decision to learn something brand new 4.5 years ago. Ask yourself, when is the last time you did something new for the first time? That was me 4.5 years ago. So with these educators, you get to see who's training, what they're training on, what time they come on. Then you get your notebook and your pen and you sit there, maybe put your little background music on or something, and you get in there and you listen and you learn, because you're going to see the live market. They're going to bring those videos, that video library, they're going to bring it to life and show you exactly what you need to do. And you know what else I love about the Go Live sessions? If you happen to miss a session, it's okay, because they record all of it. Okay. And that was a big deal for me, because you can imagine with all the things we have going on, sometimes you're going to miss a live session. Now, these tools, now hold on. I know that looks like an EKG machine. If anybody else, when you first saw that, if you thought that that looks like an EKG machine, or if this is your first time seeing it and it looks like that to you, you wondering if somebody's getting ready to have a heart attack, put a 1 in the chat, because that was me when I first saw it. I was like, what the HE double hockey sticks? What do you call them? Double hockey? Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, Claude. It's all good, right? So here's the thing. These tools and these strategies that you see on the side, those letters, these are ideas that you get directly from the educators, because guess what? A couple things are happening. One, we have software that scans the market for you. Our educators show you how to read that. So when you look at that, it no longer looks like an EKG machine. You'll actually, believe it or not, with plugging into this education, you'll actually be able to look at this and know exactly what's happening with the market. Why is that important? Because that's your money that's in the market. That's what you're looking at. Whether you do this or not, that is your money in the market. Because if you got a dime sitting in a bank account, that's your money in the market. So now you'll be able to learn the strategies. You'll be able to learn the skill set to where you can finally be in control of your own money. Then we also have these apps. I love having an app. Because of an app right now, I'm in a trade right now where I'm trading cryptocurrency. So these apps give you these notifications, because let's face it, you're not going to be sitting in front of your laptop all day, and you're always going to have your phone on you. So isn't it cool that the educators literally can take their brain, put it in an app, you get a notification, you get to pull up the chart, you get to see exactly what they're looking at, and you get to decide if you're going to get in that trade or not. That's because, like it says on here, you are absolutely in control. So we also have an e-commerce academy, which I think is phenomenal. My son just signed up for that, as a matter of fact, because he wanted to do some things online with that. So no matter if you want to make money in the Forex market, if you want to make money in the time-based trading market, binary options, the digital currency market, or the e-commerce space, it is all here in I Am Mastery Academy. This is why, even though we started out with just 200 students 8.5 years ago, this is why now we've had well over 300,000 students enroll in this academy, y'all. We're the real deal. And so in this academy, you get to pick how you want to enroll in this academy. Now, the best of the best is that elite, okay? If you're that person that likes, listen, I want the best of the best. I want the first class ticket. I want the front row seat. I want the best of the best. That's you. You're an elite member. Welcome to the club, right? So here for just $324 to be able to activate your membership tonight, you're going to get every single trading academy that we have, access to every single educator that we have that teaches in all 3 of those academies, as well as all the apps that come with them. Then if you're that person that's like, you know what, I think I just want to try out just one academy, that's cool. You can do that too. The Forex Academy, the HFX Academy, or the Digital Currency Academy, or the e-commerce academy. You get to have your pick if you want to choose one. And guess what? what? Those are on a special. It's a special promotion. Normally they're $235. That's what you see. That's grocery money, right? It's let's be real. That's gas money today, okay? But you can actually do that. But there's a promotion that's happening that's just $185. You can actually get activated in either one of those academies for just $185 tonight. Now you see the monthly membership there. I'm going to show you how you can waive that. But isn't it cool that you can get this type of education? Because if you try to do it through a university, especially an Ivy League, it's going to cost you 20 grand and you're not even going to get even close to everything that we give you here. But I love the fact that unlike when I went to college, okay, when I went to college, I had to have thousands of dollars up front for each semester. Here, you pay one membership in order to get it activated and begin tonight, right? And then every 28 days, you actually have access to the academy over and over and over again without any contract. So here's how you absolutely can take advantage of everything that we have. Like I said, those single academies are just $185, but this is how you can take advantage of the academy and get it for free. Now, I did this. There's no time period. You don't have to do it within 6 days or 6 months. It's completely up to you. But I fell in love with this in about 4 to 5 days, not weeks, not months, days. And I called up my family and I called up some friends and I was like, listen, I'm learning how to multiply my money on my phone. I'm learning a skill set. Don't ask me any questions about it. That's what I told them. I'm like, listen, I just see something that's really cool. I wanted to know if they wanted to get on a webinar, just like what you see tonight. Several of them said yes. Some of them not only got on the webinar, said yes to the webinar, several of them got started. When you have 2 people that activate their membership, and as long as you have 2 people every single month, it can be the same 2 people, you can share with more people if you want, but as long as you have 2 people that have an active membership, the academy gives it to you for free. Do you know, I wish that everything worked like that. Like, let's start with my phone, for example, okay? I'm Team Droid. Don't be hating on me. Don't hate on me. Don't hate on me. But as much as we talk about Team Droid and Team iPhone, do you know how much more we would talk about it if we got our phone service for free because we had 2 or 3 people sign up for it? Hello, right? So here, you absolutely have the ability to have free access to the academy. But honestly, the value that's here, it doesn't even matter. I gladly pay for this membership every single month over and over and over again. There's such an incredible opportunity here. And one of the most incredible things about being an I Am Mastery Academy is the community. See, it's one thing to be locked into an academy that's giving you all this information, is really giving you the sauce. And it's a whole nother thing to develop relationships and business partners with like-minded people. I always believe that when you surround yourself, literally, when you surround yourself with the thinking that outthinks you, you can't help but level up. And that's exactly what I've been able to do here. And one of those people you're going to have the privilege of listening to tonight. He's going to talk to you about the second reason why I enrolled in this academy. And this is a gentleman that I just have a ton of respect for. I love this guy. I've known him for a number of years. I've known him to he's a person, you know how I said earlier, that we have educators that don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. This is this gentleman here. You know, he's a family man. He's out there literally making things happen for people literally all around the country, but he started internationally first. So before I take away any more of his shine, because he has an incredible story and I want him to share it with you, you all do me a favor, show some love for my business partner, my friend, my family, really. We've known each other that long. Give it up for Mr. Claude Curry, also known as KOBK. Y'all blow up that chat for him, please. Thank you, Claude.
Wow. Appreciate you. I truly do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yo, thank you all. Hey, seriously, do me a favor. Y'all drop some 7s in that chat for Chairwoman Sakina, because she literally just laid down the foundation. She literally just gave y'all the blueprint to do what you want, to get what you want out of this life. So drop some 7s in that chat. For those of you who are on this call that are brand new to this space, I want you to thank the individual who invited you to this space, because they didn't have to. So this next part that I'm going to talk about is completely optional. I want you guys to say optional to yourself. And the reason I say it's optional, because this is optional. You don't have to do this. So before I go any farther, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit about myself. Military vet, was in the Air Force for 15 years. And this opportunity that was presented to you today is the reason why I was able to walk away from the military. So this information that's being presented to you, take it seriously, really. This right here, I decided to really take this serious when I was over there in Japan. I learned the skill. This right here is truly an educational platform, and everything that we just talked about is educational. And what I really like about this is once you learn this skill, once you master the skill, once you're able to really get in here and copy exactly what our mentors are giving us, 6, 7, 8, 9-figure educators, until you learn how to do this on your own, you can still be profitable in the meantime. But this is a skill that no one can take from you. That right there is what changed it for me. So I met my first millionaire mentor when I was over there in Japan, and he put me on a book. It was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And as Sakina stated before, there's the 4 quadrants. And I was stuck on the other side. I was stuck working for someone else. I was stuck having that JOB. And we know that job, what we have over here, job is an acronym. It stands for just over broke. And the reason we say just over broke, because they pay you just enough to enjoy your weekend, but they don't pay you enough to fire your boss. They don't pay you enough to let your boss go. We have these jobs where we have to ask someone to go to the restroom. We have to ask someone to take a vacation. You know, I wanted to switch that. And, you know, I was in the military, I was working these hours, working over 40 plus hours. And what I realized was that I needed to do something different to have something different. But this is what really set into me. I actually left Japan, went to Arizona, and this was during the time when the military was doing the government furloughs, laying employees off. They wasn't paying people. Guess what, guys? The military didn't pay me for 90 days. I had a family of 7. A family of 7 were going through savings. But what happened was I plugged deeper into this knowledge, deeper into this education. I built my foundation up stronger. I was able to take the trades from the educators to sustain my lifestyle for 90 days. So I'm sitting here having this conversation with you. I want you to ask yourself, seriously, what would you do if your job stopped paying you for 90 days? What would you do? Most of you will go through your savings. Some people would take things and sell things. But if you learn this skill, you don't have to worry about that. So I was able to maintain my life, not only by trading, but also by doing this second part. This second part I'm about to talk to you is optional, but I'm gonna tell you, everyone's not qualified for this position. Everyone's not qualified for this spot. You have to have a certain skill. You know what you have to do? You have to do something you're already doing now. What that is telling individuals about things that you like. Prime example, we go out to eat, we go to restaurants, we have a good time. What do? We tell people about the time that we had at those restaurants. You can go to Olive Garden, Red Lobsters, you have a good time with family and friends. Here, this is family oriented. We have a good time here. We have a good time because we're learning a skill set that no one can take to us. We're seeing everyone win in this space. We're helping each other build in this space. So what the owner, Christopher Terry, decided to do was to reward us for that. See, what I want you guys to realize, there's no billboards. There's no commercials. There's no radio ads. This company is built off of word of mouth, and it's something we do already. So I'm gonna share my screen. And what I want you guys to realize is right now that you are already an influence marketer. You've been doing it since the day that you were born. You've been doing it ever since you got a toy. You tell your family and your friends about it. You buy a pair of shoes. Your friends say they want to go out and do that same thing. But here on this part is where you can really change not only your family situation, but your friend's situation and their friend's situation and more. This is how you become an influence marketer, by spreading this word. See what I know back in the day, if it wasn't for this right here, if it wasn't for spreading the word, I felt like I would have been selfish. And the reason I feel like I would have been selfish because I was literally on this platform making money, gaining this knowledge. And if I didn't tell anybody, how can I help them better their lives? Sakina already stated, the 5 friends you are around, your situation is pretty much the same thing. So what I did was I surrounded myself around the same individuals who were plugging into the same system, who wanted more out of life, who wanted to do more with their life, who wanted a better situation for themselves and their family. So I started sharing. And lo and behold, this next part that I'm about to show you, I didn't even know it was possible. And the reason was because I was so excited about learning this skill. I was so excited because I was plugging in and I was winning these trades, and I had no idea how I was winning these trades, y'all. All I knew is that I was copying and pasting. But here we go. Christopher Terry said he will reward us for sharing this concept. And when I seen this, I said, wow, that's a lot of money on that chart. But see, my goal and your goals are completely different. I ask each and every single one of you on this call right now to look at this chart and ask yourself, what position on this chart, what amount of money on this chart will literally set you up to be financially free in your eyes? Now, what I want you guys to realize is that you don't do this by yourself. Wealth is not a me identity. Wealth is not an I in identity. Wealth is a team sport. We do this together. But one thing that I do know, and one thing that I do understand is that that rank of Platinum 600, that's 12 personals. I mean, that's 12 individuals on your team. That's 12 individuals in your organization doing the exact same thing that you're doing, that's paying out $150 every single week. I say every single week, you guys. We get paid every single week. Every Friday, we get paid. Every single Friday. So monthly, that's $600. What could an extra $600 do to you? I mean, we could talk about the top, but let's start at the bottom real quick. What could an extra $600 do for you? That's a car payment. That for some of you, that can be your mortgage. For some of you, that can be your rent. For some of you, that can mean taking that extra money to take your kids out to enjoy a nice family event on the weekend or something along that nature. Some of you, that means that can be more money for investments. Because over here, we like to talk about investments. Over here, we like to talk about assets. We don't like to talk about liabilities because we understand that assets do more for you. Assets grow more wealth for you. Liabilities take more money away from you. So we want to position ourselves to acquire more assets. And with this other part, it's a way to do it. The reason I talk about this part so passionately, and I'm going to break it down for you like this. If you and I having a conversation and there's two $100 bills on the table and I say you can have them, are you going to take one or are you going to take both of them? This opportunity right here that I'm talking about right now is you taking the opportunity to take both of them. One thing that I know that the average income of a dual couple in a household is around $5,000, maybe a little bit less. But at Platinum 5,000, that's paying out $5,000 every single month, $1,250 every single week by you sharing the concept. We do know at Chairman 10, it's a game changer. Chairman 10 is $10,000 a month. Ask yourself, what could Chairman 10 do for you? Like, seriously, ask yourself. I don't know any job that's paying that type of money every single week just by sharing information. You have to go out there, you have to work the 40 plus hours a week. You know, one thing that I know is individuals that are depending on that retirement, they're working 40 plus hours a week for 40 years of their life just to retire off 40% of the income that they couldn't survive off when they were full time. You know, we have nothing against jobs. Nothing against jobs. So how about while you work on your job, you really work on yourself, you work on your alternative game plan until you do it so well and you do it so much, your part-time income outweighs what you were doing on your full-time job. It starts making more money when you start making more money doing what you were doing part-time than what you were doing full-time. And it's all just by talking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going ahead and I'm gonna jump up to Chairman 750, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's just a secret for you guys. Now, don't tell everybody on this call, but it's rumored to be right now that they're coming out with another rank. They're coming out with another position that's paying up to $1 million a month. Think about it. And it's just by sharing. We all share on Facebook. We share on Instagram. We share on the telephone. So why not share here? That's gonna do something a little bit better for you and your family. Right here at Chairman 750, we have a young man named Bryce Thompson, very young. He's under the age of 30. He's 28 years old. 28 years old, he's Chairman 750. And what he does with the income, with the percentage of this, he gives back to HBCUs to help within the community. So there's many options and many things that you can do with this second part that's completely optional. But one thing that I do know and one thing that I do see, some people who are saying that's not for me, this is exactly what they need. So I'm done with this call. What I want you guys to do is reach out to that person who invited you to this call. And I want you to thank them again because they didn't have to share this with you. What they did do, they seen a lot in you, they seen value in you, and they seen something and they realized that you can benefit from this. Whether it be on the trading aspect or this part right here with the entrepreneurial side, the marketing, the influence side, or maybe it's both. But the option is up to you because this part is completely optional. So reach out to that person, let them know that you're ready to get started right now so they can go ahead and get you started on the path so they can show you how to win right away immediately with this family and with yourself. Thank you all.